Welcome back to another edition of Research Fantasy presents our bargain bin for the NBA slate on Wednesday, March 29th, 2017. Was really hoping we were going to be here to report a perfect 6 of 6 all around. Our 3 tournament plays worked out fine. Chris Dunn had excellent point per dollar production, 3,300 on DraftKings, resulting in 26.75 or 28.75. So he was 8 or 9 times value, which is great. Taurean Prince, who was our top of the day, had I think around 30. So again, he was an excellent point per dollar option. And then Sean Long, 2 minutes into the game, Rashawn Holmes picks up 2 fouls. Here I am thinking to myself, after locking in Sean Long and Chris Dunn into all of my lineups so I could fit the guys that I really liked tonight, I'm thinking, here we go. This is going to be another one of those nights where everything I do goes right, and Sean Long proceeds to have the most unbalanced, irrational game I've ever seen an NBA player play, except for Allen Williams and Rashawn Holmes as well. I mean, came in, picked up fouls immediately, did not stay on the floor long enough to do anything. I think he probably had like 10 minutes total. They didn't play him in the fourth when the game was staying close. So, unfortunately, he is our black sheep of the night because he didn't, come close to hitting value. He's on the slate again tonight. He's going up against Atlanta. Good Lord. He's going up against Atlanta. Excuse me if I just have no confidence of him being able to deal with Dwight Howard, so it'll be a hard pass for me tonight. Looking at our model, here are some value plays that it does like this evening. We have Manu Ginobili, Patty Mills, Jeremy Lamb, Corey Joseph, and Skal Labissiere. So really, outside of the guys we're going to talk about, not a lot of value it's looking to shove into our lineups. And our model at the same time has us with 24% exposure to Russell Westbrook. Tonight, I'm going to go back to the well to start things off with Taurean Prince. 10-1 fantasy draft, 3,800 FanDuel, 5,100 on DraftKings. Price has come up enough on DraftKings that it makes me at least pause. But I think he's still good for 6x value tonight. As long as he's getting the start, he should see minutes in the early, maybe even the late 30s. That's enough. He's not a full point per minute production guy, but I think he can drop us 25 to 30, and minutes are there, and that's one of the biggest things I'm concerned about. So he is someone that I will definitely have pretty healthy amount of tonight. The Sixers, we know what they are. They're a team that's likely to keep this game close. They're not getting blown out too much, but they're giving up a lot of things like steals, which is a big plus. So I like Taurean Prince tonight. The guy who probably makes me the most uncomfortable on this list, Rodney Hood, shooting guard, Utah Jazz, 9,100 fantasy draft, 4,200 FanDuel, 4,800 DraftKings, going up against the Sacramento Kings. He's in play regardless of what happens with Gordon Hayward, I think. Obviously, if Hayward is out, that's a little bit of a bonus to him, but he's had some pretty decent outings against the Kings, so the historical performance is there. He's just completely untrustworthy because he could very easily get on the floor and just do nothing at all. So, I mean, I'm definitely not going to be all in on him. Probably not going to have a high ownership position to begin with because I've just been burned too many times with guys in situations like this who don't come through. If Gordon Hayward is out, I will probably up my position. But nonetheless, he's got 30-point upside in this matchup, and I think at his price, that's what we're looking for, so I don't mind using him in tournaments only. Finally, I like Pau Gasol tonight. 10-1 fantasy draft, 55 FanDuel, 51 DraftKings. Again, another guy who's kind of unpredictable in what he's going to bring to the table, but if things get rolling properly, he can turn up a big game pretty quickly. Price is really low, 5,100 on DraftKings. He's not going to see a ton of minutes, so I mean, I'm going to put him somewhere between 23 and 27 for this game. Again, I think he is a guy who could come through with a point per minute. So we're looking at 23 to 27 fantasy points. Upside being in the 30s if he gets rolling and ends up with a lot of boards. A lot can happen. This is a game where the Greg Popovich might want to use him a little bit more because they want to close the gap on Golden State, see if they could take over the top seed before this is all said and done. So I think there's some merit to playing him. Would have Zach Randolph here, but he has collectively checked out of our value range. I don't mind Skal Labissière's price came down, especially on DraftKings, $800 after his dud. Matchup is horrible here against Utah, but it's not all about matchups. That's really what it comes down to. If he's going to see the minutes, he's been a pretty solid point per minute producer. 4,200 for someone who could end up giving me 30 points is not a bad play. Once again, our top 3 value plays: Taurean Prince, Rodney Hood, Pau Gasol. Thanks for listening. Make sure to hit subscribe below to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Head over to researchfantasy.com, sign up for our NBA mailing list. Hit us up on Facebook, like us there, follow us on Twitter at Research and Win, and join us again tomorrow.